Welcome to NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm your host, Greg Martin. Divers can wind up doing some really interesting things. Over the years, I've been hired to find all kinds of things lost in the water, all the way from anchors to car keys. Harvey Morash from Nova Scotia's Louisbourg Scuba has recently been hired to dive in a very interesting area for the TV show The Curse of Oak Island, which airs on the History Channel. Harvey, what are those folks looking for up there on Oak Island?
Well, what they approached me to look for was basically evidence of humans being in a void which was found in what they call BoreHole 10X on Oak Island in Nova Scotia. And that's basically what they were really interested in, because every bit of technology they've sent down, sometimes they've gotten some conflicting information, and they basically want to humanize in the chamber to try to find evidence of humans being there.
So this is kind of a fishing expedition. You're just going down and checking out what might be there. Yeah,
basically. I love to explore, and of course, it's a bit of a challenge because it's not exactly a very easy spot to get to. You look at a picture of it and it seems, gee, that's straightforward, but it's not quite that straightforward. There's a few things there that the pictures don't usually show.
The interesting thing is anybody who's familiar with Oak Island, and if you're not, you probably should do a little, Wikipedia action, a little Google action to find out about this. There's theories of everything from buried treasure, pirate treasure, to Shakespeare's manuscripts, Marie Antoinette's jewels. Somebody even thinks that maybe the Ark of the Covenant was down there. Now, you can't tell me what you found, can you?
No, I'm not allowed to say one way or the other what we found, if we found anything, whether we were successful or not. I can say it was a very interesting experience. So the dives are certainly not just for your average open water diver, I wouldn't think.
So I guess we have to watch the show to find out, right?
You'll have to watch the show to find out, yes.
Hey, Harvey, talk a little bit about your background in diving. Where did you get into this? How did you wind up as a diver up in Nova Scotia?
Interestingly enough, I wasn't always comfortable in the water. I wasn't scared of the water, but I wasn't comfortable, and I thought scuba was a good way for me to help overcome that uneasiness. So I enrolled in a class in 1991 and just continued on from there. Fell in love with the sport, and that's it. It became my passion. That's what I've always enjoyed to do. That's my happy place, in the water.
And you're in the process too of passing that happy place on to folks. You run your own scuba shop?
It's more of a home run business, but yeah, my main line of work for years has been working offshore oil and gas, but teaching scuba is definitely my passion. That's what I like to do in my time off. Either teach scuba or go exploring shipwrecks or cave diving, as long as I'm in the water.
I want to jump back just a sec about the show and the conditions that you were diving in. Was this just a standard dive, or was this a tech dive of sorts, or
It was a technical dive because of the depth. We're utilizing trimix and a couple of decompression gases. That in itself was fairly straightforward, but the hazards involved there is you are in a cylindrical silo that's metal with protrusions, loads and loads of rust, and not just little tiny particles, but chunks big enough that if they get into a diaphragm of regular air, they can have a problem, or into your diaphragm of your exhaust valve in your dry suit, they could flood your suit. The water is not exactly warm. By American standards, I guess it would be pretty cold. It was in the low 40s. By our standards, it's, late spring, early summer. But the visibility was one of the big hindrances there, for sure.
Is this one of the toughest things you've ever done, or what would you consider the toughest dive you've ever done?
I wouldn't say this was the toughest dive I've ever done. Some of the things that they wanted me to do would be different than what I would normally do on a technical dive or a cave dive or a wreck dive. So that was a bit foreign to me. For instance, they had me tethered to another diver. Thing was, if I got stuck in the 27-inch hole, they could pull me out, but realistically, in a hole like that, you're on your own. But I would say the toughest dive I ever did, environmentally wise, was a wreck called the Alpha Viking up here off Nova Scotia, and that lies in 100 meters of water, 330 feet of water. So we had cold water, high current, low visibility, and plus loads and loads of decompression to do at the dive. And Again, each dive is unique in its own way, I think. No matter whether it's a 20-foot reef dive or a 100-meter wreck dive, you could do the same dive over and over and over, and each time you go down, as you'll see something different, you'll feel something different, and it just adds to the enjoyment.
Let's jump over and talk for just a second about your affiliation with the National Association of Underwater Instructors. Why is NAUI so important to you? Why did you stick with it?
The quality. It wasn't just basically pay your money, here's your card. I don't like that sort of thing. To me, scuba certification, you're paid for instruction. Certifications are earned, and with NAUI, we've always been encouraged to go above the standards, as long as obviously we're not making things unsafe for students. And I like that academic freedom. I like being able to add to the class because, as you know, you can learn things outside of your own agency from other divers that, hey, they may be relevant to somebody in the water. So why not be able to add it to your class?
So you've done this TV show now, Harvey. You have something else to put on your resume. Is that the biggest thing that you've ever had to do? Is a television program?
Yeah, I have more of a radio face, so I was very leery of the cameras. I didn't know how things were going to be portrayed, and I haven't watched the show myself yet. From what I've been told from family members, it's been all positive, but I'm not one for going for limelight or anything like that. I just like to dive, look, teach, take video or pictures or whatever. Exploration is what I like to do.
Well, if you want to find out what Harvey and his team found at the bottom of that well, be sure and check out The Curse of Oak Island on the History Channel. And if you'd like more information on technical diving or just getting certified, be sure and check out NAUI.org, NAUI.org. And that's this edition of NAUI's Dive Team Report. I'm Greg Martin. I'll see you underwater.